Forward Through Ferguson team. My name is Andrea Nichols, and I am making this quick video to make my appeal to you about why I would love to join your board of directors. So for a few months now, I've been involved with the Forward Through Ferguson team in a lot of different ways, creatively and strategically. From stepping up in strategy meetings with Ferguson commissioners and their committees, being at some of the strategic tables about how the Ferguson Commission's report would be formatted, all the way to which organizations would carry forth the calls to actions of the report, to how to move the report and those actions forward, to strategizing with Nicole and David and Karishma and everyone about what the business model of an entity like Forward Through Ferguson could become, and how the board application would welcome and be accessible to anyone who's interested in applying. And to see it brought to fruition, that's been really, really awesome. It's been a pleasure and an honor to be able to support the team and provide a creative lens in whatever way I've been asked of. And as a board member, I definitely want to continue supporting this work because I believe in it. I wouldn't keep showing up if I didn't. And so I accept that invitation from Commissioner Brittany Packnett to submit my application and extend my support as a board member to deepen that commitment, as well as sustain creativity and storytelling and interactivity with citizens throughout all of the next steps that the Forward Through Ferguson team makes. So one of the questions on the Board of Directors application asks, who vouches for me? And I thought that it could be easier to just show you a few clips of some of the leaders and organizations that have welcomed me to be a part of their efforts and speak on their stages and some of the things that they've had to say about me. So check these out.
I'm going to bring on stage as a real group of disruptors. First up, we have my girl, Dee Nichols. Dee is a triple threat. She's a social entrepreneur, a museum educator, and at her roots, a communication designer. And through her organization, Civic Creatives empowers creative change makers to resolve critical social challenges and bring their ideas to light. But she hasn't stopped there. As the founder of Design Serves, a current Clinton Global Initiative project, she teaches design skills and civic engagement to K-12 youth, help them to identify and actualize social change in their own neighborhoods. She's also a Points to Light Civic Accelerator alumni. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and give it up for Dee Nichols.
I got a chance to talk to Andrea a little bit beforehand, and it was really inspiring to just hear her story. She's from Tennessee, and she grew up in an impoverished neighborhood, and so what she's doing now is she's going back with design services. She has a partner that's going to help her change that. And so a round of applause for Andrea.
So with thinking about the question of why does this matter to me, I really struggled to do it in front of others. And so I made a clip by myself on my cell phone to answer this question, and here it is. There are a few reasons, to be very honest. When I first found myself out on the ground in Ferguson, I had a series of nightmares that kept me up constantly. And I ended up being hospitalized from the stress and the toll that I was taking on my body. And part of those nightmares and part of those experiences was the terror that I felt as a woman of color and as a sister of men of color. And I often thought about how I have a little brother whose name is Michael, and how my little brother Michael aspires to be Michael Jackson. He wants to be the next Michael Jackson. But we have so many entities within our systems in this nation and in this world that are striving to make him another Mike Brown. We have so many cases and instances of young people of color in this nation who are dehumanized through the violence of the police, the violence within our communities, the injustices that are within our educational system, the school to prison pipeline, the inadequacies in healthcare that is provided within communities of color all across this nation, including our own. And all of those matter to me because I will bear children who will live in this world. And it is of utmost importance to me that I do all that I can and support all who are living their lives in making that deep investment and commitment to assure that their quality of life, that their well-being, that their opportunities are just as valued and possible as our counterparts who live out in the county and who live in lives where they don't have to think about violence or hunger or who they're going to be or how they're going to pay their bills. And I grew up in a household with a single mom, and we constantly had to think about these things. And luckily for my family, we made it through. And we made it through because of the support and the connections and the collaborations from people from all across our community who invested in our lives, who stood up for policy change, and who made a difference through everything that they implemented. And because of that, I know that I cannot pay back any of the support or any of the opportunities that I've received in my life. However, I can pay it forward. And I live every single day of my life doing that. And I do it by teaching young people how to create their own solutions to the things that matter to them. I do that by working with communities in collaboration with stakeholders and gatekeepers and young people and families to actually listen to community members and their hopes and their aspirations, because not enough people are doing it. And I believe that Forward Through Ferguson is doing that exact type of work. And so I want to support that. I need to support that. It would be a shame if I didn't. And I know that there are many things along the pipeline that is really going to test and shake things up in this city in a way that progresses the livelihoods of every single living being that lives here. The possibilities of what we can create are limitless. And that is the type of work, that is the type of fire, that is the type of drive and passion and commitment that I am ready and willing to give and share with the Forward Through Ferguson team. I think most directly about a lot of my earlier moments in this particular movement in Ferguson, it was largely through the activities of supporting protests and being an activist on the ground. I was able to create various ways of connecting allies and others from other cities into this work. Part of that was through the Connected for Justice platform that I created in October of 2014. And part of that was also through Artivist STL, bringing artists and performers into the mix of this movement in a way that allows us to make the calls to action and the policy demands even more accessible to people who are just now entering a lot of the vocabulary around this work and a lot of the policies and procedures and processes that are to come. And so those are some of the ways that I feel like it matters to me. It matters to me that we have an umbrella of racial equity. It matters to me that our lives are at the forefront, and it's not necessarily just about the rhetoric of what needs to be happening, but the actions of how we're going to get there. It matters to me that this work moving forward is going to be highly collaborative. And a lot of my own passions and projects, that is the quintessential value and essence to everything that we do. Collaboration is key. Nothing gets done in a silo. And I firmly believe that with the work that we're going to do together, there are a lot of connections and networks that I can bring into the fold in order to support and sustain the work of the Forward Through Ferguson team. And if there are any questions, please feel free to email me at dandrea and then the letter N at gmail.com, or check out and learn more about me at dandreanichols.com. Thank you. I look forward to hearing from you.